Well, I'm emulating one of the great YouTubers, Casey Neistat, this morning. Went out for a 3-mile run, making a quick video while I do it, and then off to the office for a full day of work, and then a long flight overnight back to San Francisco. I guess my emulation isn't that great though. I only ran 3 miles. My videos aren't quite as good, and I have nowhere near as many followers, but maybe someday. I'm back in San Francisco after a long week of travel. Thought I'd drive around a little bit and find a spot to tell you about the things I did to my Model 3 to make it a bit different from all the other ones that are popping up in San Francisco. I'm sure those of you in California have noticed this, but there are just way too many Model 3s on the road already. I got the car and was all excited. I thought it would be something different because I got the performance version, but honestly, the red brakes, and I still don't have my spoiler, aren't really enough to make it look different from all the other Model 3s running around out there. As I talk about it, I'm pulling up on one right now. It's on the other side of the car, so you won't see it. But they are everywhere in California, and I think that's going to continue to expand out to other states as they continue to make and deliver 5,000 of these a week. So instead of taking Darcy for a walk this morning to get coffee like I usually do, I figured I'd come out for a drive, tell you what I did to my Model 3 to make it just a little bit different, and maybe collect your ideas on what else I should do. You know, I don't want to put racing stripes and 24-inch wheels on it, but I do want it to look just a little bit different so it stands out in a crowd. There's a lot of these things, and I want mine to be special. So as I said, I'm still waiting to get my factory spoiler, which will make it look a little bit different and make it stand out as a performance version. But I did some other things as well to the car, you know, mostly very minor tweaks just to make it my own. I'll walk you through these once I find a good place to film. Now, to be honest, today is not the best day for it. The roads are still wet, my car's extremely dirty, but I figured, you know what? You know, that's life. It's not always squeaky clean. I do wash it a lot, but you know, I wanted to make this video, so that's what I'm gonna do. I found what I think is a really pretty spot to do a quick overview of my upgrades to the car. I'm in the Presidio in San Francisco. Gorgeous spot. Should be some good backgrounds of the ocean and some of what I think were old barracks. Anyway, I can't quite see the bridge from here, but I'll do a quick drive-by over there later to get a shot or two. The first thing I did almost within a day or two of getting the car was to wrap this center console in what is a textured black surface. The piano black that comes with it was just way too fingerprinty and scratchy as the dog jumped over it, etc. So I think this came out pretty well. I'm going to try and zoom in so you can see the texture of it. You know, it's a nice little texture, gives a little grip. You can set stuff on there, it doesn't slide around. I think it works great. The next thing I did was to go get a wireless charging pad. I'm using my phone as a screen right now, but I'll throw it on there anyway. So you can see this is my new one. The first one I got from, I believe it was a company called Jetta, didn't have this bottom lip down here. So the phone kept sliding in. This one's from Nomad, has that big lip, has one in the center here as well, so the phone doesn't slide around, and a nice little charging light, so when the phone screen's not on, you can really still see that your phone's charging, which is kind of nice. The next thing I did, I saw these on EV Annex, and I got pretty excited just because it's a nice little way to bring the exterior of the color inside, let me move my coffee here. Get these little pads for the cup holders that have some color in them. It just brings in the outside. It's easy to clean if you ever spill in there. There's one in there. There's one in the glove box here and on the bottom, and one in the back seat cup holder. I'm almost embarrassed by how dirty she is here. It's very unlike me, but it's raining. It's going to rain tomorrow, so I'm not cleaning her. So as I said, some pretty good views around here. Hopefully the camera is picking up how pretty it is. But on to what I did on the outside. Very subtle tweaks in my mind, I think, go a long way. I didn't want to put racing stripes on her or have her stand out that much, but I wanted people to look at it and say, that's a bit different. So let's start with the paint. You can read quite a bit about this on the internet, but Tesla doesn't have the best painting in the world. They do a decent job. There weren't too many dust specks. I think I've got 1 or 2 on the trunk. I'll try and point those out in a minute. But it just wasn't perfect. There were swirl marks. There were, a couple scratches in the clear coat. So first things first, I had the paint corrected, and not that you can tell because she's super dirty right now, but she really shines when she's clean. The next thing I did is have the entire front of the car clear broad. Essentially, it's just a thin piece of plastic stick-on material that you can't see once it's on there, that protects it from rock chips and and other issues that might prop up. It keeps the paint looking really good, especially after it was color corrected. I had the clear bra applied to other places in the car where you might scratch it up. I didn't want to do the full coverage. It was just too expensive. Didn't make sense for me. I'm not going to keep this car forever. But as you can see right here, and I'm probably going to show you just how dirty this car is by doing that. There's a piece of clear bra on the trunk lip, so that if you're loading anything and you hit that spot, you're not going to scratch anything up. When it's clean, you can't even see that it's there. The next thing I did was to do a chrome delete on the car. Basically, it's just black 3M vinyl over all the chrome spots. And I'll do a cut around to the ones I've done. But it's around the windows, under the mirrors, on the turn signal / camera housings, and the door handles. And I'll pop one of these out. It doesn't actually go all the way around, but I think they did a pretty good job of hiding it when the handle's in there. Now these aren't my summer wheels. Finally I got the winter wheels on there and having no problems with them thus far. Unfortunately I haven't put the little caps on yet, so sorry about that. Having a slightly different color wheel for me just kind of sets the car apart. So I will cut to a couple of pictures of the summer wheels that I had powder coated in turbine gray, as well as, I'll point it out as on the pictures as well, but I had what they call alloy gaiters put on. These are so if and when somebody bumps into a curb, which is bound to happen, that it doesn't hurt the wheel, it just hurts a little piece of plastic, which is replaceable over time. So those are the quick adjustments I did to the car. I think they're all worth it. I think they make a difference. As I'm driving around here, it made me think of one thing. What I haven't done yet is any sound deadening to the car. Where I want to go is closed. That's too bad. There are people out there that sell, essentially it's a gasket that goes around the top of the roof piece of glass to do some sound deadening. There are potential ways that you can actually rip out the interior, do some Dynamat or whatever that might be to deaden the sound even more. It's not awful in the Model 3, it's just not great. And if I'm going to keep this car for a while, I sort of want to make it great. So if you've done any sound deadening and you think it works well, let me know. Tell me what I should look at, what I should investigate, and maybe that's something I'll do next. Well, the spot that I wanted to film was closed, but this isn't too bad itself. What I'm going to do is just do a quick wipe down on part of this car just to show you how clean and shiny it can get. Let me get close to where it's super dirty here. Try and adjust the exposure. That's not working. But I'll wipe down this spot and see if you can tell a difference on camera. Maybe it's my OCD, but I keep a microfiber and some cleaning solution. This is I think it's called Car Pro H2 something. It's a rinseless wash. Let's get a part of this up clean here. Essentially it just makes the dirt stick. This is going to be pretty disgusting when I wipe it off here. So you do one wipe with basically no pressure just to get a lot of the first dirt. Spray it again, and you can use some pressure the second time. So hopefully that shows just how clean it can get. Not quite sure why I picked a place where you couldn't see the view to do the first one, so let's do it again. Trying to keep the camera as steady as possible here. You know, one wipe, get it super clean. And that's what the paint can look like. I'm trying to find a spot where you can see my reflection. There you go. Super reflective. Makes it look good. Well, now I know why the road was closed. I completely forgot about this, but it is a federal park. Government shutdown equals no parks. Well, at least no park maintenance. Well, you can see why I wanted to come down here to do some of the video. Pretty awesome view with the waves coming in. We'll see if they're actually crashing down near the end. But unfortunately can't get down here, but someday soon, once the government opens again, I will come down and do some more video. Well, I'll try and zoom in on the guy out there surfing, but man, some people are hardcore. That water is cold. And it's rocky down there. Well, I'd love to close a video about car modifications with the car in the background, but as I said, couldn't get it down here. Thanks again for watching. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see more of these over time, hit the subscribe button. And as always, if you're looking to buy a Tesla Model 3, Model S, or Model X anytime in the next couple of months, use my referral code. It's down below in the notes. And if you use my code and I end up winning a Tesla Roadster, I'm going to let everybody who used my code drive it. Thanks again for watching.